Hey, John with Simple Property Management. Today we're going to go over the fourth quarter 2025 marketing stats for rental properties. Before we get going, we're going to start by saying and reminding that this data comes from Zillow. Um, so it's not absolute perfect data, but it's consistent data, which is really what we're looking for. So let's jump in here. We're going to start. Really, the theme is going to be all I want for Christmas is my units filled with good residents. So let's get going. Units on market by month and year. You'll see October. So the blue is 2024. The orange-ish is 2025. You'll see October, there was a jump. You have to remember Grand Rapids, we have a lot of college stuff. So kind of that September, October, November timeframe, those units start coming online. October is when it really hit. So over 800 units on the market that month. This data does not include a lot of the larger apartment complexes just because that data is hard to parse. But a lot in October, November, a little less. So far in December, less. But advertised units by zip, last 90 days, 49504 is the leader. That's no surprise. 49504 seems to be the largest zip code for rental properties in the area, but still, over 500 in the last 90 days. So days on market based on off market months. So meaning if it came off market in November, it's going to count under November. You'll see in January, we were way higher for 2025 compared to 2024. And then it got kind of close this summer, and now uh, it's pretty close to the same. November 32 days, November 2024 40 days, December we don't have all that data in yet, but it's pretty close. If our numbers internally are actually worse than last year, a lot of that I think is because we have a lot of apartments on the market. Uh, this would be percentage with at least one rent reduction by month. So if there's a rent reduction, it's going to be in here. So you see October, that's the big. September kind of starts going up, October, and then November. I think most of us all decide we're just going to start rents lower to from the get go, and then December, no data. We don't have the data loaded in yet, but you see it's pretty close. You've got in July 2025, 22% had at least one rent reduction. 2024, we had 25% with at least one rent reduction. And then obviously September and October are over, higher. So almost 40% had a rent reduction in October 2025. It's a pretty good number, pretty big number. So as you can see, rents are starting to, or are retracting. I shouldn't say starting to retract, but rents are retracting. More people are dropping rents quicker. And then 49504, these are the on market rates based on market month. So you'll see September and October about the same, within a couple bucks of each other. November higher. Same thing with 3 bedrooms. These are the bedrooms below. Same thing with 3 bedrooms. November came on a little higher. That could, again, if you get some college style properties that are higher rents, then that can really drag these numbers up. Apartments, you can see are, like a 2 bedroom apartment in November 1522, 2 bedroom single family home in November 1761. Again, part of that is going to be your college rentals coming on the market this fall. But you can see November starts a little bit higher for the 2 bedrooms and the 1 bedroom apartments. Uh, But two bedrooms, I mean, overall, and I'll show you in a minute, two bedrooms, there's a lot of two bedrooms out there. Three bedrooms, November a little bit lower, and then four bedrooms, November higher. So single family homes, days on market based on the off market month. You'll see single family homes in November way lower than anything else. October, 46 days, September, 50 days. And then apartments kind of starting to come down, but we're still at 38 days on market. 49503. This is a very interesting zip code. We'll get into that in a minute. But pretty close to the same, within a couple $100, depending on month and the number of bedrooms. Three bedrooms, again, pretty close to the same for single family homes. Looks like our data just refreshed. And November, a little bit lower. Apartments, lower than single family homes. We would expect that. And then these 4-bedroom apartments, those are a little bit challenging just because there's not a lot of 4-bedroom apartments. Days on market, you'll see has been, basically 30 days or above all fall. And that's for single family homes. For apartments, see well over 30 days on market. And again, we will show you something towards the end of this video. I'm going to show you something pretty crazy. Grand Rapids. So now we're moving from zip code to city. Days on market and rents. So you'll see it kind of goes up for 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, about the same, and then 4 bedrooms, about the same. So not a lot has changed. And again, these are the rental rates when they hit the market. And then you'll see the apartments are just, part of it is supply and demand. You have more apartments, you're going to have less rents. So, but pretty interesting data. So you can see it's climbed up a little bit for the 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms kind of come down, 4 bedrooms gone up. Again, there's just not a lot of 4 bedrooms for comparables though for apartments. Days on market for Grand Rapids for single family homes, again, all around 30 days the last 3 months. This is based on off market month also. So November, it could have gone on market, early November or December, and they just kept the rents low to start. And then days on market for apartments, well above 30, 40, 41, 39. Wyoming, another interesting city. 4-bedroom single family homes significantly higher than 3 bedrooms. 2 and 3 bedrooms, kind of close, depending on when you want to compare the data, which month, within a couple $100 of each other. And then apartments, your 1 bedroom around that $1,000 mark, 2 bedroom, 12 to 1,400, and then your 3 bedroom. I believe we didn't even have a 4-bedroom apartment for Wyoming. You're around that, $1,500-$1,600 mark, maybe a little higher, depending on time of year. And then days on market, 25, 35 for October, November 31. So as you can see, these are all around that 30-day mark. Apartments, 34 days, 82 days, and 70 days. So apartments in Wyoming are definitely sitting longer. Kentwood, I'm not sure why our 3 and 4 bedroom are flip-flopped. So I apologize for that. I'll have to work on that for next time. But a 3-bedroom single family home, 2,200, 4-bedroom, 20, we'll call it 24 to 2,600. Yeah, and my dates are all kind of screwed up on that one. I'll have to fix that for the next one. That's the beauty of videos like this. You go through the data, there's so much data, you think you got it right, and then Mistakes happen, but we just keep moving here. Apartments, there's only a few one-bedroom apartments in Kentwood in October. So we only have October there. And you'll see kind of 4 bedrooms September, but 2 and 3 bedrooms are doing all right there for apartments. And then days on market is going up for single family homes, but apartments is coming down. So an apartment, for November is 15 days on market. That's pretty good. Part of that again could be, there are a fair amount of apartment complexes in Kentwood, but if they don't come up in November, then it's not going to show here. And then anything that's on the market today, so we're looking at what's on the market today and what's the average days on market, and it's 54 days on market. So the market is challenging. Overall, it's challenging. I believe that it feels more challenging than last year. Good news is that we're one day past Christmas, so the market should start speeding up a little bit. We have tax returns that'll be coming back February and March, so things should start kind of falling in place here pretty soon. So this was very interesting. Let me just reload this so you can see that it's not, it's not like old data or whatever. So 49503, this is for rent, apartments, 1 bedroom, exact match, 102 units available. So now let's go 2 bedroom, 105 units available. Let's go 3 bedroom, 38 units available. So now let's go 49504. So 3 bedroom, we have 53 units available. 1 bedroom, only 47 units available. 2 bedroom, 84 units available. So you can see, I mean, 2 bedroom is kind of close to 49503. Let's go 49505. Okay, 47 for 2 bedroom, 13 for 1 bedroom, and then a 3 bedroom, there's 20. Obviously, zip codes, different sizes for zip codes, but that 49503 for 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, there's a lot of apartments out there. So over 100, over 100 for each one. So that is something to keep in mind as you are trying to price your rental, zip code, or if you're looking for a rental, look at the zip code, how many units are on the market. But overall, I think that the market is going to start picking up. It always does once tax returns start coming back. But anecdotally, just talking to other managers, this fall and winter was very challenging. We're seeing more and more where you get $500 off the move-in, or half off your first month's rent, or a full first month's rent, or 2 months rent for free when you move in. So we're seeing more and more deals. I think that's helping to move things, but it is challenging uh, with all these deals going on, just trying to keep up. The other things you're going to want to watch out for and make sure, are your pictures nice? Is your description nice? Are you allowing showings as much as possible? You want to try to kind of meet the resident where they're at, so to speak. So if they want to see it at 5 o'clock at night, you're probably going to have to meet them at 5 o'clock at night. Just try to make it easier for the resident, because they have, as we've seen just right here, a ton of choices. So that's what we have for our fourth quarter 2025 market update. Again, I think things are going to start moving here soon, but this winter is definitely very challenging. As always, if you have any questions, go ahead and call or email us, John with Simple Property Management. Thank you very much.